Mo. So we want to fix small things, small wins to get really better. The first thing we want to work on, and we can work on really fast, is our arm crossing over. If I draw a straight line, from your head and your neck, it's gonna somehow end up here. We want the head and the neck and the torso in the same streamline, so we can achieve our body streamline. Let's look at that again. So head, neck, torso, and let's pull that all the way back. The way you see all the legs are shooting to the right. Now the reason this is happening is, the first thing is two major things. What's happening is that our hands are overlapping. Now if we draw another same line here, you're gonna find out that your hands, when you enter, you're shooting them all the other side of your center line. And let's watch this really close. Your hand is coming inside almost to the center line. Where we want to keep the hand, there's somewhere outside here and somewhere outside here. We do not want the hand to be in the middle line. So if we go right here, you find out that your hand is cross over, and that crossover, what's causing, like I said before, causing all that curving in your body. You go right, you go left, and you see how your streamline is being destroyed. So we want to swim complete straight line. We want to keep the hand just a little bit slightly above the shoulder and a little bit to the outside. We do not want to make it here. We want to make it just a little bit to the outside. It will feel like you're shooting your hands really wide, but that's the right way. The other thing, we want to keep the head with the neck and the torso in a streamline. Now if we move forward and we want to look from the front, we have a major problem here. Our hands are not really in the power diamond position, which that mean, first we're gonna break down your pull, and we're gonna talk about the three major steps that your hands will go through. Your hands will go through a catch, through a pull, and a push. And so from here to here, that's your catch zone, and then from here to here, that's your pull zone, and then from there to there, that's your push zone. And what's happening here, if we go from the front and we want to stop that arm right there, if we look at the angle from your shoulder all the way to your elbow, from your elbow all the way to your hand, that's a 159 degrees. We're looking for something between 100 and 120. So we want to end up somewhere by pushing our elbow a little bit outside, and then we're going to bring your arms a little bit inside under your shoulder. So it should be somewhere here. The other arm should be somewhere as well, somewhere, if we say here, and then under the shoulder, somewhere right there, and that what we call it the power diamond. What's happening is you're not bending, your arms are almost straight, so you're going with the shoulder swimming, and you're missing out all that power you can have. If we go back here, if we go back right here, and we draw, if you go right here, if we draw as so right here you're in the catch zone, catch zone, catch zone. Your fingers start pointing in the floor. Now you're in the pull zone. What we want, if we pull an imaginary line from your chin all the way to your fingers, if we want to talk about the pulling and the early catch, your elbow should somehow be right here, and what's happening is your arms are not in the right position, so they're straight. You're pulling with your shoulders, so you wanna push your elbow a little bit to the outside. Bring your hand under your shoulder in a 100 to 120 angle, like I showed you in the previous part. Now, the other thing that which you would know that what's happening here is you want your fingertips to be slightly under your wrist slightly under your elbow. But if we draw a line from here all the way there, you'll find out that your wrist is actually above your elbow. We want the line to be somehow fingers above your wrist, which is good, and then elbow above the wrist, and then you got your shoulder. So somehow you want your hand to be here. So if you draw that line again from your chin to your fingertips, your arm or your elbow should be somehow over here, and that's what we call it an early catch. So that's how you're going to catch a better form of water, and you're going to have a better power. Moving forward, if you notice, this arm is catching a lot of bubbles. Crazy, the bubbles right here, because you're not having a clean entrance. And what's happening is, what we want to do is we want to have a clear entrance. So if you look outside the water, if we look, just a second, I'm gonna bring it up right there. Right there. So as you see, your hand is exiting the water, and that's the first phase of your recovery. Now your recovery will have stage stage 1 right here, stage 1, and then stage 2. And in stage 1, you're pulling your elbow high, which is good. Your hands, your hands are looking backwards like that. You want to keep them down to be ready to enter the water. And then what's happening in the second phase, you're bringing your hand in your entrance zone, which is supposed to be somewhere here, but you're hovering your hand higher and higher and higher, and that's gonna hurt your shoulder right there. And you're still high, you're still higher in the water, and then you're entering the water, completely opening your hands like that, and you're just landing your hand in the water, which you're supposed to be cutting through the water, inside, going down under, hands above wrist, wrist above elbow, elbow above shoulder, to be able to pull better water. So this is the things that we need to work on in the next 2 weeks to have a much effective pulling, stronger, and I'm gonna send you a couple of drills to work on it. It's gonna help you to rotate better, have a better pull, and good luck in your competition.